Hi, it's Pascal here. Thanks for coming through to check out this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to set a goal to have a successful business online within a year. Now, if you don't have any goal in your life yet, you'll probably always argue with your partner or your wife. You don't spend time with your children, and your health may be struggling as well. And there's so many other things that you'll be facing challenges in life, and you just don't understand why they happen. But what I'm going to share with you here now is going to help you reinvent yourself and start a whole new course that is going to not just impact you and your relationship and your life, impact anybody that you come in contact with, because it's absolutely crucial that we all have a goal. So now, why have I chosen this topic? It's because when I started my online business, I was having all these challenges. I wasn't spending time with my child, my partner. We were always arguing. You tell me, how do I know this? Because it's true. But ever since I quit my job in November, a lot of things have changed, and I have realized that the reason I was going to that work was because I wanted money, not just because I loved what I was doing as a job, because I was a courier. But the point is, if you find another way you can make money, you don't need to go to that work. So in this video, we're going to learn how to make money in automated system, set a goal to learn how we can set an automated system that can actually help us live the kind of life we want to live. So let's just dive straight into it. Now, when setting a goal, there are two main points of contact that we want to go after. One is where we are, and the second point is where we're going. So in this instance, we're gonna have to measure this by we use monetary value here. Let's say the goal that we want to set here is, let's say for instance you earn $3,000 at the end of the month, or £3,000, or whatever your figure is. Just write it down. Just follow me here. That's our goal that we're going to set to get that money from another source within a year. So we don't have to go back to that original source. So we don't feel the need to go back to work. So the first point is where we are, which is here. I'll call this now. And you earn 3,000. I'll go with pounds here because I'm in the UK. So our goal will be how to replace this income in a year's time. So this will be where you're gonna be a year from now. So if you learn how to make £3,000 by the end of the year, it doesn't matter the figure, just follow with me here. If your salary is 10,000 a month, just write 10 and 10. So, but this is for people, this video is basically for people that are physically going to work and make money and think that they have to go to that work. You don't have to. You will learn how to use systems and in place and earn yourself money, rather than just physically going to work, having somebody talking to you, telling you, controlling your life, you asking for permission to take your wife that you married on holiday. I did all that. I don't do that anymore. I'm not gonna do that anymore. So I encourage you to get onto the internet and learn how you can use systems. You can do phenomenal things. So this video is specifically going to focus on setting the goal, because if you don't know where you're going, you probably end up anywhere. So that's why most people stay in a particular job for 14 years, 15 years, 10, it doesn't matter, and they just see that they are stuck. It feels like you're stuck into doing the same thing over and over again. And you know what they say about that: when you do something over and over again, expecting a different result, is just insanity. It's never gonna happen. So you have to do something different, right? Okay, so since we're going over the course of a year, so I will just write, this will be December and this will be January. So it doesn't matter where you are right now. If you're in month March, you end it in February. If you're in month April, you end it in March, whatever. So it's just so that we get some clarity. So I'll just fill in the other months of the year, so this will be February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So now, when we are setting a goal, we don't usually know how to accomplish that goal. So you always hear this when you're setting a goal that you should like visualize, meditate, and try to attract this result to yourself. So in this process, we're just gonna do the same thing. That's where Steve Jobs quotes come in. So since that we're gonna visualize this, is because this is me here and this is where I want to go. I'm visualize how do I make this money. So maybe you will pick a product. This is, like I said, this is, you can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect the dots coming backwards. That's Steve Jobs quote. So in this way, we have to see yourself in the future now. Ask yourself, your future you, the future person that you want to become, what will he do to get this money? Let's say we pick a product online that we're going to be selling that is $20. After the affiliate commission, we make $20 on each product. So how many people do we need in order to get 3,000 in 1 month? So it's basically going to be 3,000 divided by 20, which is 150 people. So at this stage, you need 150 paying customers. So we kind of break them down and understand what we have to do this month. Let's say we're in January, what we have to do in January that will give us this result. So that's kind of where I break it down. So in November, if you divide that into 2, just break it into 2. It doesn't matter. All this is all imaginary, but you're going to find the ways to connect it. So you divide it, all you need to, you make in November will be 1,500 pounds. So you would need, divide that into 2, you need 75 paying customers. In October, you will need, if you make, let's say 800 pounds, all you need is about 40 paying customers. We'll do the same. I'll just do this quickly. September will be 400 pounds. All you need is 20 paying customers. And this will be 200 pounds. All you need is 10 paying customers. And you need is 100 pounds. You need 5 paying customers, and this will be $20. And this will be 1 paying customer. So if we bring it down this way, we can understand that. All right. So we're not going to expect to make any money until half of the year. Man, why is that? I just want to keep this simple. You can actually get a quicker result, but coming from a background where you have children, you have bills, all that, you have a lot going on already. You don't even have time for yourself. I hear that all the time because that one is in that similar position where I was working 13-hour shift. I come back home exhausted, not knowing what to do, until I started realizing that if things to change, I have to change. So in this instance, that's why I've given this kind of room for you to actually understand that there will be a process that you have to grow through in order to make that money at the end of the year. Now, in May, what will you be doing? From my experience, maybe you have to build something that has to produce this result, because it's not going to happen by accident. You have to build something. So from my experience now, from what I got from my trainers, I will be building my funnel at this time. So what is funnel? If you don't know, funnel is simply let me just put it in layman terms. When you visit a website, let's say Amazon, I'll use Amazon as a very good example because I know a lot of people will resonate with that. When you go to Amazon and do a search, maybe you want to buy a Nike shoe, lots of them pop up. So what happens is you click on one, it takes you through to the product itself. You start reading the reviews, you start looking at the colors, preparing yourself to make a decision to buy. So that's where the funnel, that's what it's called, a funnel. So as you click through, you look at the number, the quantity you want. It can be a 1 page, it can be several pages, funnel. So it's just that's just like Amazon is like one page where it gives you all the information, the reviews. It prepares you, gives you a lot of information about that particular product for you to make a decision to make that purchase right there and right now. So that's what you're gonna be doing. So with this, nobody can actually tell you. I will explain in more detail later on as we walk our way backwards. So right now, all this is imaginary. So at this point at this point of the next month, you will still be testing funnels. You might do this for a couple of months to actually get good traction. So the next phase will be, you will be needing to build your website. So if you're going to have a business online, there's something that you have to understand, that you're going to be a global brand. You're going to be doing business with people like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Instagram, name them all. So it's good for you to prepare yourself for this big shake-up in your life, because at first you start small. You start small with all your ideas on whatever you do, but in the longer term, you have to understand where this is taking you to, because when people are doing business with you, they want to make sure that you have integrity, truth, trust, honesty. These are your values. These are the things that you stand for. I'll tell you straight away, if you don't have a compliant website, all these platforms, Google and Facebook, they won't be willing to do business with you. So it's very important that you know that you're going to be a global brand, and don't just think of this like a corner shop. It's a global business that you're about to set up here, and that is just gonna last for you. It's gonna last for your kids and the generations to come. So when you have this at the back of your mind, you understand. It looks quite big initially, but when you start stepping into it, you realize that it's closer than you think it is. Now on the next page, this is where the crucial thing is. This is your avatar. In February, you'll be learning about avatar. What is avatar? Avatar is simply because what you're doing here, what you're going to do here is you're going to move from being an employee to an entrepreneur, business owner / entrepreneur. So when you're figuring who your avatar is, you have to understand that this is you now trying to find out, because when you're making this shift, who is the person that you're gonna become? What is the solution that you're going to provide to the world? You can have different, you can decide to pick up a shoe that you're gonna go into shoe, and that's what you were interested in, or whatever ideas that you have. This is when they say you build a business around your passion. People miss that. They don't understand how to connect their passion and actually get it to pay them in return. It's like you doing something that you already, you know that you would live your life doing this, and you want to be known for this. So you grow into discovering who your avatar is. Find a problem and solve it. Like for me, I share my story with parents, because I know that I struggled with having this relationship. I had my first marriage was broken down, the second one heading down the same path. I wasn't spending time with my children. A lot of families are going through that, but they don't seem to know or figure out a way of how to get out of that mess that they already see themselves in. So for me, I found a way that it helped me by setting up businesses online. Now I have time for my kids. I have time for my partner. All those little things that creep up in the house that causes quarrel or argument, they don't happen anymore, because I'm on top of everything. I know exactly what to do and whose time, what time it is. I'm more involved in my family, because I decided to make a decision to bridge that. So this, what I do is I share my story with parents, single parents, mothers, fathers all over the world, just to inspire them to get on board and do this similar. It takes a lot of work, initial hard work in the beginning. What I mean by hard work is basically that you are building a business when you have a current job. So you will say you will have time and financial freedom or whatever, but in the beginning you have to give more time to yourself, and you have to invest a little bit of money to get it off the ground. So that's where most people get stuck and they stop. So it's best you understand who you want to speak to. When you're speaking to them, they can relate with what you're saying. So it takes a little bit of hard work. So when you find out who your avatar is, I'll be talking about this and what you can sell in another video in more depth, so that you can understand how this can come together to help you build a business around your passion and helping people, and you're proud of what you do, and people will know you and want to speak with you, be amongst you. So in January, what you will be doing is you'll be going through the modules. There's 5 modules that you have to go through. Oops. 5 modules that you have to go through. So in January, you will have module 1 to 5. This is basically an online training that I used that helped me set this up to actually make this transition from being a courier in 2017. I did that for a year and I quit my job in November. So you get the foundation of your business is going to come from this module 1 to 5, because this will set you up for success if you really want to make this change. Because if you don't have any goals like this, maybe this is like a year 1. I've got 5 years 1 for my own personal self. So which of course, if you don't have anyone like this that you share with your written out, that you show your partner or your wife or your boyfriend or whatever, you probably don't spend time with each other. You probably always argue. You probably just not eating the right food, or your health, everything, relationship, everything will be sucking at the moment. So, but if you have a definite goal that you, 2 of you, what in the Bible they said, when 2 or 3 are gathered, I am there. So when you 2 set a goal where you want to take your family to, it doesn't matter whether you are working for somebody at this time, but always know where the end goal for the family, what the family stands for. And when you set this type of goals, it helps not just in your relationships, it helps in your communications, things that you do personally in your life, and it trickles down to your kids, and they will learn how to treat people and how to start their own business if they have to. So that's what I say. You can tell a child, do this, do that, do that. They don't listen to you. They only do what you do. So once you start stepping into doing things that are positive and impactful in your own personal life, your kids will learn it. So now, to cut the long story short, so this is where we are. Understanding where we are is usually the challenging bit. Knowing yourself is something that a lot of people don't. This is like coming to acknowledging that you are a product of your environment. You are a product of your thoughts. That's by Earl Nightingale. I think he said something, you become what you think about. Most people don't understand that, or they don't really get it. I would say it's like law of gravity. Who understands it? Nobody understands it. All we know is that once we stand on top of the roof of a building, jump down, you're never gonna go up. You will always come down. Who understands how we go down? All we know we're gonna go down. So that's the way this is. If you don't understand it, you're product of your environment, your thoughts. You become what you think about. So once you get into the habit of setting these goals, and understanding that every day you're thinking about how to produce this result in the course of a year, you will definitely do this. So the next step is to break down every single month into daily goals, and into weekly goals, then daily goals. Then what you basically need to, I'm not going to go through that in this video because it's going to be quite long and intensive, but if you are interested in that, just if you join our program, I'll show you how to set that up. It's very soon. All it basically comes down to is 2 hours every day. So in terms of, let me walk you through just weekly goals. So during the first week, because right when you're here, you're not concerned about finding out who your avatar is. You're concerned about going through the modules and understanding how the concept of online business works. So when you're setting out these monthly 30 goals, weekly goals, what you're going to be setting out is, maybe the first week your goal will be to complete module 1 and 2. Then the next week you attend something called orientation call, where you meet other students that are in this journey with you to interact and exchange ideas, to see, rub off on each other, because the goal of the community is to get like-minded people to be together. Like they say, you become an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Tell me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. All those sort of comments. You start understanding the impact your friends are having in your personal life. So that's the module 2. You attend the orientation call. That will be your second week. Then in your third week, you will basically be going through module 4, and the fourth week will be module 5. So at this stage, you're already prepared. You already know what it takes to start an online business. Then you start figuring out exactly how to find out who your avatar is. Maybe you would have discovered your avatar throughout this process, so this results gets quicker for you. You can, once you know which market that you want to serve, you start going after it and start building all this. So discovering your avatar is something very, very straightforward. I've just left that there because doing it week hourly thing every day, it's gonna take time, so I'll leave that there. So finding out who your avatar is, that's what I'm gonna be talking about. Your avatar is simply who you want to serve. What problem do you want to solve? Let's say, for instance, you find out that you have a personal problem in your life. How did you overcome it? What are the things that you did? Did you put them into document them and share them with other people? That's the best thing that you can do. Once you realize that the problem you're going through, you overcame that problem, then you share with people how you did overcome that problem, and that becomes your market. That becomes how you resonate with people. Because do you think a lot of people are going through that similar problem? Absolutely. You're not the only one going through it. Just share it with people and they will say, all right, if he can do it, I can. They will try. And what are you doing? You're actually helping another person in another home. So building a website is just your brand, where people are going to come out and find out a little bit more about you. So it's very important that you have a website that people can actually come and read a little more about you. And so today's world, it's more like I do get offers to help people build a website and all that. I'm actually trying to outsource that at the moment because I can't keep up with it. It's time consuming. Outsource that to other people, and that's what you get by starting an online business. You're not just thinking about yourself. You learn how to leverage computer and technology, help people out, and you can start earning money as soon as you. And it's more like copy and paste. Building a website today is drag and drop. It's not that hard. You can, it's not that simple as well, but you can do that in a month. Make it compliant. You will get training on exactly how to build a compliant website. Now, the next bit is funnel. When it comes to funnel, you're gonna be, like I said, it's something that people are gonna be going through to understand what works, because nobody's gonna tell you this works. It's only your customers that will tell you what works. So in funnel, it's gonna be more or less like writing a blog post or writing, if you're writing a blog or you're making a video or creating a content or article, that's more like what you're gonna be sharing with people. Find out what resonates with people. Something happens here before you make a sale. In the funnel, there's something called law of averages. I learned this from Jim Rohn. Law of averages. He said something. He said, if you do something often enough, a ratio will appear. This is classical information I'm giving you here. If you do something often enough, a ratio will appear. What does he mean by that? It took me 3 months to understand that. What does he mean by that? If you write a blog right now, here, this is your blog, or maybe anything that you're passionate about, weight loss or whatever, or Nike shoes. 100 people come to read that blog. After reading it, you put a link there. You will learn how to add links to your thing, to your blogs with your affiliate links, because I'm talking about affiliate marketing here, or if you have your own product. And after 100 people read this blog, one person buys. One person actually clicks the link and makes a purchase. You make that $20. Now, this is data. This comes to your data. If you don't understand this part, it's a little bit more advanced, but this is how your business is going to grow. If you want to build a business, you must know this law of averages. If you do I will say that again, if you do something often enough, a ratio will appear. When I started, my ratio was 148 to 1. And there's something interesting about law of averages. It can be improved. So it doesn't matter where you start. The most important thing is for you to start. So once you start, you know how to improve it because you did the first. So what you need to do now is you look for people. Since one person has bought your product, we'll go with 100 to keep the number simple. If one person has bought your product, all you're looking for now is similar people. If you're doing Facebook or anything, they will say lookalike customers and all that. Similar people to read that same blog post, because you know right now from a lot of averages will work in your favor. If you send more 100 people, you will make another $20. So the idea now is how to send loads of people to that blog post. So what people do is, this is how you're gonna start earning this money. You start maybe writing more blogs or writing more articles or creating more videos or whatever, or any way you can share your message to the world, so to the right people when you understand that. So that's what you learn from your law of averages. If you do something often enough, your ratio. So once you get this ratio working 10 to 1, you can always improve it. And there's something that happens as well. You're learning how to do email marketing. Email marketing is like, let's say that 100 that visits, some of them are not ready to buy at that time. How do you engage with them? How do you keep up with them? That's where email marketing comes in. You start sending them free stuff on similar products that you have and all that. So you will learn that in writing a blog post and writing a blog as well, and how to tailor your messages to suit those people until they are ready. Because this is a miracle business. I have to be honest with you. I love it. So once you get yourself up and running, so all you need to do is find ways to send traffic to this blog post. We're going to keeping it simple. There are 2 ways to do that. One is free and the other one is paid. You have to understand this. There's nothing hidden in this world. You have to understand that there's advantage and disadvantage in both. So I'll talk about the free strategy. Free strategy, there's something brilliant about it. It's consistent. It doesn't it stays for a long period of time. If you want to do this, I would encourage you to do both, but just start at your own pace. Don't push it too hard because you want something, and don't do this because you want the money. Do it for the sake that you're helping somebody wear a nice shoe, look good, and feel happy about that shoe. So the challenge with free strategy is it takes a lot of time. You will have to be patient to engage in this sort of concept, but it's in the longer term, it's more rewarding because it's like you don't spend any money at all on traffic, and people are just coming through and dropping money on your table, in your pocket or in your bank without you asking for anything, because you have decided to put in this work initially. But But don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of time and dedication and effort to go through that initial phase. So, but with paid is more like ordering stuff online. Excuse me, ordering stuff on, just buy traffic, send them to the website, and you get your ratio straight away. Buy traffic, but here is more expensive. You will need to find some funds to actually run this sort of campaigns, and you hear people talk about campaigns and all that. So that's what they do. So it's up to you. You can always manage the boat as you walk your way through this process to achieve this result. So at this point, you need to write. If you don't have money, you need to write a lot more blog posts than the person that uses money to buy traffic. If you're using money to buy traffic, you're more or less like getting money to work for you. You put in money to get more money, but you need a little bit more training, understanding how much you need to spend, how much your cost per click and all that. So there's a bit more training in paid advertising, but free strategy is absolutely free. So now, but what something happens to this now? Let's say, for instance, because what happened to me was I quit my job on the 10th month after following this blueprint and understanding that I had to grow through this process, finding my right funnels and actually make some money, then quit my job. But what happens here now is you see all these ads that people share with you and tell you that they make 7,000 in one day or 2,000 in 1 hour, all those sort of things. Let me show you how they do it. What they are not telling you is, they are not lying to you, but what they are not telling you is the time they spent to get that result. Let's say, for instance, you have this funnel is working and it pays you 3,000 every month. You can set up another one. You can set up another one. And you can set up another one. And you can set up as many as you want. And when you're doing this, what are you doing? You're setting up multiple income streams. That is what the goal is. Don't forget, all this part is manual, but from here it's all automated. You physically do all this, and from here, this is where you lose. They say come and get your time and financial freedom. That's not in the first 6 months. You're going to be giving more time and more money here, but after that, this is where the reward is. So if you have to put in the wood first before you expect the heat. So let's go down to these multiple income streams I was talking about. There's something about setting up multiple income streams. Some has to be small, pay you small money. They are not the same sizes. Some are passive income, some are high ticket commissions. So it's all different income streams that you will learn how to set this all up. As you go through this process, it's all part of the system because it's not like you sit down and start setting one up. It's all as you go along. You won't realize, this one is already running. This one is running. By the time you know it, you have all these incomes coming. I just got a check last week from one of my affiliates that I registered a long time ago, earlier this year. So it's more, and it came from US. So it's powerful when all these things starts happening to you. Something that you watch on TV or you watch on YouTube, and they're actually happening in your life. So the thing about multiple income stream is this one could pay you 500, and this one could pay you, let's say, 2,005. This one can pay you 7,000, and this one can pay you 1,000, whatever. Yeah. So if you calculate this, there's another thing that you need to know about this. You don't set up this immediately. It doesn't work like that. It works like in sort of a gold, mining gold. Let's say we have a gold mine here. This is the land. So we leave our houses up here and wherever. Gold is under here. There's a big one here. There's a small tiny one here. There's a small tiny one here. There's another medium one here. So this is like gold mining. That's how this works. So all you do, you're drilling from here. You don't see what's underneath the surface. So as you're drilling here, the first one you drill most of the times will just miss everything. So you don't get anything. So you don't go home. You have to stay there because you know that there is gold there. So that's why you don't quit. So you drill the second one, boom, you miss it by a chance. Nothing, you don't get anything. And somehow you drill, you miss this one. And that's the one that pays you little money, 500 bucks every month. You let it start running. You just leave it. You don't touch it. You drill another one. You miss it. Nothing happens. You don't quit. And this time you may be running loss in your business, but you don't quit because you know that this is something that you're already prepared, because you know this is your future. That if you keep digging, you will find all these gold veins. You'll find all of them. And once you set, that's how it works. But you have to be patient in this process. So this might take you a monthly interval, weekly interval, depending on how aggressive you are. It might take you 2 months to set all this up, but you just keep setting them up. Now think about what your life will look like if you choose this process and start working with this. How will this impact your life? How will this impact the people around you? How will this impact your generations to come? Once you start seeing those pictures, you realize that when you're doing this and building this, you're happy because you know that the result has no option but to happen. So I encourage you to start an online business. If you're interested and you want to get stuck in straight away, click the link on this video anywhere. It might be on the description on the bottom. Just it will take you through to my website where you put in your name and details, and I will send you the free training videos that got me started on this particular journey. It's very important that you understand that you have to associate with people that are doing this on a weekly basis. We have live webinars we do host. My trainers, they do host Mondays is on building websites. Tuesdays, there's none on Tuesday. There's one on Wednesday is on marketing, where you ask questions, you submit questions, you ask questions. There's one on Friday is on tactics on Facebook, on how to understand all that one. The Wednesday one is more or less like YouTube on AdWords, Google AdWords. Then there's one on Saturday, which is for people that English is not their first language. Some of us that came from different countries into the first world country just to make a living, we find ourselves walking, going back and forth, and it's like you're trading all your life for just to work, and it's not supposed to be so. You can actually do all this without even talking to anybody. All you have to do is get into the training and start educating and understanding of what you need to do on your part in order to get this one. So there's one on Sundays, which is the one I really love to attend, is on mindset, because all this I know you can learn. I know personally that you can learn how to do this, but it's that monkey or that thing that is that voice that is in your head that is telling you you don't have the time, you're too old, you don't have the money, all those sort of things. You have to stand up, because this is time. It keeps going. By the time you know it, let me tell you, if this takes you 5 years to build, it's worth it. Let me tell you something now. 5 years from now, it's definitely gonna come. There's no two ways about it. You can't stop it. It's every day, it keeps going. 5 years, me and you will arrive somewhere. The point, where are you gonna arrive? Are you going to arrive to where your company designed for you, or where you designed for yourself? It's absolutely key that you understand that you need to set a goal, because if you don't, you're already working on somebody as part of somebody's goal. So once you have this up, get your family, let them know where you are taking them to. They can get your wife, sit them down, draw. You may not believe it, but just once you start the process, you will start seeing all this manifest. And when they start happening, you'll be like, someone told you. That's why I said my favorite quote is by Tony Robbins. If you're going somewhere and you've not been before, get someone who has already been on that path to train you, because that will save you a whole lot of frustrations, giving up, all those things I will tell you, because they will be pulling you up when the journey, because it's a tough road. It's not easy. The road that leads to destruction is broad, but the one that leads to fulfillment in life is narrow and crooked. It's all in the Bible. So I encourage you to set this up, start something today to help yourself and your family. And I'll be sharing the other video with you of what you can sell, exactly how you can sell your experience to the world. And that will shock you if you hear that video, because I'm gonna put powerful stuffs in it that'll get you kicking out and start doing things to make it happen. And you know what they say: the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, anything may try to derail it, but in the end, it's there looking at you. You know when I'm telling the truth. You know whether this is true or not. So I encourage you, do something for yourself. Do something to help your family. Do something to help your loved ones. Step up to the plate and be that person, because I believe that you're the one to make this happen. Good luck, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.